We welcome you back to the Savas Center in St. Louis. We are ready now for the heavyweight division. And what a great matchup this has become. These two guys are certainly no strangers to one another. Tommy Rowlands of Ohio State, Pat Cummins of Penn State. Rowlands the #1 seed, Pat Cummins the #2 seed. They're both in the same conference. They have wrestled a ton of times.
They sure have, and Cummins, one of the only ones to be able to beat Rowlands, has done it a couple times, but Rowlands has beaten Cummins 5 times, Jeff.
That's in the overall series. This year it's 2-1 in favor of Rowlands. Rowlands beat him in the Big Ten finals. He built up a bit of a lead, but Cummins came back on him. They always seem to wrestle close.
Rowlands started out his career with a bang. He was right there, but Cummins came in basically to Penn State as a 205-pound wrestler, has built himself up to 260 pounds, Jeff. I'm really impressed with the way he's trained and built himself to this position.
Well, he's a real hard worker, and he's very athletic as well. Rowlands very athletic, and this is what Rowlands does best, getting to the leg and finishing. And the Buckeyes, with a victory here, could move up the standings. They could tie Lehigh for 3rd place.
Tommy Rowlands on top right now. He was the 2002 champion in the heavyweight division. He's lost a little bit of weight. He's actually going to the Olympic trials in April, trying to qualify as a 211-pounder.
He felt that his weight at around 230 gave him the most efficiency, quickness, and power with stamina. But one wonders, did he keep the weight low to make it striking distance of 211 as well? But it hasn't affected his wrestling.
Still powerful.
Second as a freshman, champion as a sophomore, injured in the quarterfinals. Last year couldn't compete in the semifinals, and now this year returning to form and a chance at a 2nd title.
Tommy's dad, Tom Sr., his high school wrestling coach.
Cummins looking to get away, but Rowlands picking him up, putting him back down. You're not going anywhere.
Loading him up there and tried for the tilt and almost got an extra 2 points for near falls, but the official Keith Pullman said no, it wasn't there for 2 counts.
You see that riding time starting to build up for Rowlands as well.
Nothing.
You get the sense right now, Jeff, that Tommy Rowlands has a sense of urgency about winning this 2nd NCAA championship. And you know, when it gets to this point, urgency it's a big deal.
You know, you say urgency, I say focus. Every time I've seen him this year, Tim, he has just been relentless in his approach to how he's going to attack his opponent. Talking to Coach Hellickson, you know, he says he's one of the hardest workers in the room, and as a heavyweight, you know what kind of opinion most people have about us big guys.
Well, I'm not going to say anything sitting next to you.
Here we go, guys. There's 36 seconds left.
That proves my point. Thank you very much.
You bully. 36 seconds remaining. The riding time up to 1:31 now for Rowlands. 3 times he has literally picked Pat Cummins up off the mat and thrown him back down, and Cummins weighs over 260.
Well, look at Rowlands is going from one side to another. He's knocking Cummins down to off his base. Look at flat right there. He's going to come to the other side, back and forth, and what he's doing is impressing the referee to where he'll never call him for stalling.
And with just 10 seconds left, this is the perfect strategy to end the period.
In fact, he's saying the bottom man isn't doing anything, and that's because Tommy Rowlands is dominating right now.
Wait, guys.
So Tommy Rowlands, the #1 seed. Pat Cummins, the #2 seed. And I loved what you had to say there, Tim, about the different pedigrees for these 2 wrestlers. Pat Cummins wasn't even awarded a scholarship until this year after he finished 4th last year. Tommy Rowlands came out with all those great credentials from high school. And even Tommy Rowlands, he's got to give a lot of Pat Cummins a lot of credit. Says to imagine that we'd be facing each other for championships 4 years ago. That's a credit to Pat Cummins' hard work.
Well, that's the same thing that Troy Sunderland, the head coach at Penn State, says. He says his year-round commitment, we're talking about Pat Cummins, his eating, his lifting, his training, that's what's impressed him. And that's why he's here, Jeff.
I agree with you 100%. Cummins has earned his way here by developing in the last 4 years. Rowlands has that pedigree and has been good throughout his career, outstanding throughout his career. both want to put a punctuation mark on it tonight.
Rowlands does a nice job of stuffing the head and then dropping down and attacking the legs. And right now he's going to drop down for 2.
Takedown, 2.
There were 3 moves right there, and that's a mark of a champion. He didn't just stuff him; he stuffed him.
What's that? What's that?
Well, coming up right after our wrestling coverage, you'll see women's NCAA tournament action here on ESPN2. Oklahoma from the Big 12, Texas Tech from the Big 12, 9:06 tip action. That's Eastern time right here on ESPN2.
Come in, sit.
Regarding the team race, Ohio State has a chance to come up tied for 3rd. I talked about Zaleski and Iowa. What a turnaround in their season. Great coaching by Zaleski. How about Ohio State? They bring 5. All 5 are All-Americans. Chance to place in the top 3. And they finished near the bottom of the Big Ten. What a turnaround. What a great coaching job by Russ Hellickson.
Russ Hellickson deserves a lot of credit. He's had a long and faithful career to wrestling. One of wrestling's great ambassadors. Been at Wisconsin, been at Ohio State, and he's just done a great job. Got his 500th dual meet win earlier this year.
We've seen 7 new winners tonight, 2 repeat winners in a row. Will Tommy Rowlands make it the trifecta as he tries to repeat his 2002 championship? Missed last year with that ankle injury. In good shape here in both terms of points and riding time. His riding time, Rowlands, at 2:32.
In their Big Ten finals, Cummins came on in the last minute and a half of the match and made it close.
Here we go, guys. Action, action.
And the second period comes to a close with Rowlands
your choice.
a 4-point lead.
3rd period. Set, tell me in. Here we go.
Nice job by Cummins coming up there, getting his hips underneath him, hand control. But Rowlands staying focused, staying on him.
No ready start, Red. Here you go.
It's been all Rowlands thus far.
One of the things Rowlands says, Jeff, is one of his mottos is just stay offensive. Now here he releases him because, again, riding time not a factor. He's got that wrapped up.
Cummins gets right back in there, but he just went straight ahead. Rowlands going to take advantage. Cummins comes back, stays on top of the head, goes to the neutral position. But you're not going to attack like Cummins did straight ahead without finding an angle and be successful against Rowlands, Jeff.
That was just a blast shot, no real setup. Rowlands with a nice re-attack, but Cummins able to stuff that as well. No change in the score, 5-2.
We'll get you right to women's basketball as soon as we are done here in St. Louis. The women's NCAA tournament coming up next here on ESPN2. Check your local listings for the game to be seen in your area.
Cummins needs a score here now, otherwise he's going to need a big move.
New start, still neutral.
A couple of takedowns here.
And it's a tie match.
In the center of the mat.
He'd have the opportunity to go overtime if he could get a couple of takedowns, with that last takedown not being answered by Rowlands. But right now, Cummins hasn't been the one that's been even close. It's been all Rowlands, as you said, Jeff.
Does Rowlands risk trying for another takedown?
If the opportunity presents itself, Rowlands should capitalize on another takedown. That's how you put an end to the match early.
Right.
Center in.
With his great size, Rowlands, his lankiness, I mean, he's able to keep Pat Cummins away from him, isn't he? Because Cummins' arms are so much shorter.
That's exactly right. Cummins has not been able to break through that line of defense, which is the arms. Your second line of defense is the hips. But when you can't get past the arms, you're not going to get anything done offensively. And that's been Cummins' problem tonight. He has tried there, the shot again, straight ahead, squared, not getting to the side. but that has a lot to do with Rowlands tonight.
Yeah, Rowlands controlled the tie. He controlled the match and controls his destiny.
And his destiny is a championship the second time.
Break, that's it, guys.
So congratulations to Tommy Rowlands. A repeat champion at the heavyweight division. Tommy Rowlands caps off a brilliant career at Ohio State. And now good luck to him in the Olympic trials. Tommy Rowlands, your champion in the heavyweight division. We saw 7 new champions and 3 repeat champions. That's it from St. Louis. Thanks for joining us. Women's will be right back to the Savas Center in St. Louis in a moment.